Hello everyone and welcome to my channel on the Hook Crochet, where we talk about wearable crochet style. And in keeping with that, on the hook today is a brand new sweater, and I have designed the sweater for you, for my viewers and for my subscribers, and it will be free. It's just like the lavender and lace top. If you want to send me your email address, I will send it to you, and it will be completely free. It's a PDF, and you just click on it and you can print it if you want to, or you can look at it on your tablet or your telephone, however you want to work. But I wanted to give this away to my viewers and subscribers. This is the second pattern, and then after this you'll find them on the Etsy side, and they may cost a little bit. They're not going to be extravagantly expensive, and I don't have any on there just yet, but these are the first two that I have created as pattern outlines. So these are outlines that you use to design your own pattern, to make your own pattern fit you. If y'all have been watching my videos, you know that that's how I work. I don't make sizes, extra small, small, medium, large, all that. I don't tell you how many stitches you should use because everybody's gauge is different. Nobody checks their gauge. It's pretty rare that anyone checks their gauge. And so if you don't, or if you're off a little bit, then your sweater or your top or your cardigan or whatever it is you're making will not fit you. So it's easier for me to tell you how to do a sweater by using your own measurements as they are today. Not like they were 10 years ago, as they are today. So that's how I write my patterns. This is my new pattern. I already have it finished. It's a PDF and it's ready to go. And there's a picture of it and me on the front. That's the only one I could get today, but I went ahead and put it on there. And I have written this in the manner of a teacher. And I know I used to be a teacher, so I'm trying to make it easy for my viewers and subscribers to use this pattern outline for yourself. So what I've done here is I've made places on here to fill in the blank. You'll put your hook sizes, your yarn types, your measurements, your number of stitches for those measurements, and all of those will go on the lines in the pattern. So if you're making this from stripes, you will label your stripes, and then you'll know which yarn to do next and in what order you decided to make it in, because sometimes it happens where you're crocheting along and you leave a stripe out, or you forget which order and you don't have your paper near you, so you just keep going. And honestly, you can make a huge mistake, which I actually had to frog out one time because I did that. So I went ahead and put a place for you to label your colors. And when I say color B, this is what I mean by color B. It may be your blue or your red or your green or whatever color you're using. What I've also done is I've put in a list of abbreviations that I use and how to make those particular stitches. So you'll have it at your fingertips. You won't have to go out on the web and try to figure out how to do a certain stitch. And what else did I do in here? What else I did was I tried to make it easy to follow. So after all your preliminary work that you do, then you make the back of the sweater. Now, I'm going to stand up and show this to you because let's start from where we are. I made this sweater for my viewers and my subscribers. This sweater is striped. Yours does not have to be striped, but this sweater is striped, and it's crocheted from side to side. Unlike my other pattern that's crocheted from bottom to top or top to bottom, as in the case of the back of the lavender and lace pattern that I wrote a couple weeks ago. This is crocheted from side to side. So you're starting here and you'll crochet over and end up on the other side. Now, first of all, you'll crochet the back. And the back is really straight. I did not put any scoop on the neck, and it turned out really nice. It's up right about here, so it's in a perfect spot. The front, I did scoop a little bit, and I show you how to do the increases and decreases on the pattern. It's very, very easy, extremely easy. And that way you get a little bit of a scoop, because I felt like this pattern did not scoop enough in the front. I knew it wouldn't, so I went ahead and did my scoop, and it was fine. You can do a more dramatic scoop if you want to by decreasing or increasing more stitches, and I write that in the pattern, and you can kind of follow it however you want to, and you can make that more dramatic, that scoop in the neck. But I did not. I made it a little bit straighter across, but it does have enough scoop so that the neck is not being pushed up by the front of the sweater. So you're crocheting from side to side, and you'll want to use your darker color under the arm, because if you want to add on rows, you can do that at the end. You can do that at the end. But how I've designed it is to take your side seam to side seam measurement like we always do, from here to here, around the back, add your ease that you want, and then chain up. And you'll see in the pattern outline, it will tell you how to do that if you're not familiar with the way I do my designs. And then after you make the back has no adjustments on it. It's really a big rectangle, just like some of my other patterns are. It's a big rectangle, and then you start the front using the same measurement, making sure it's right, double checking, and then the measurement that you're using on this particular sweater is not a side to side. You do need that measurement, but only toward the end. What you need to do is get a top to bottom measurement. So this is how you would do it. And I'm going to show you with my measuring tape. You start at the shoulder seam. You place your, if you have on a t-shirt or whatever, you'll have a shoulder seam. The number 1 inch end of the measuring tape. Let it fall down over your bust line and then down to as far as you want it to be. So this one was 20.5 inches. And that is the top down, is what I call it, the top down measurement from the shoulder seam to the bottom of the sweater. So what you're not going to do is crochet all the way down, because you want to put a band around the bottom, and I think it looks a lot better with the band. I put 3 or 4 rows of double crochet here, row of single crochet, 3 rows of double crochet around the bottom to give it the length that I wanted, and to kind of anchor it and make it look like the bottom of the sweater instead of just ending it like this. You want to put a band around the bottom. So my top down measurement is 20.5 inches. Well, actually my top down measurement is 21 inches. So I took off a little bit of that, and so I was about 1 inch shorter, and I made it for 20 inches. So I crocheted a 20-inch chain, single crochet, then I checked it again. All this is in the direction. So this is your top down measurement for the back, because you want to leave enough length to cover the front of your body, because you know it's going to fall differently from your shoulder in the front than it will on the back. So you want to measure on the front over your bust line down to as far down as you want it to be. So you get your length measurement, and then you use that, and so you're crocheting along, and you do the whole back at one time, right to left. And you can actually adjust it when you get over to this far. If you get over this far, you can adjust it to be bigger or smaller. When you get about right here, you can determine if you really want this extra, or if you want to make it tighter, you can do that. So you just check your side seam right here with the width of your crochet fabric and determine if that's a good width for you. You can hold it right here in the front, because the front and the back are usually the same measurement. Then you crochet the front. Before you do that, you lay the back out and you mark the center of the back and the 2 sides of the neck where you want the scoop to begin. And then you put it away. And then you crochet the front. You start the same way with your top down measurement. You crochet over to where the markers are put on the back. So you continually lay the back out there, and when you get to that first marker, then you start your decreasing. And in the pattern, I show you how to decrease. Not hard at all, but every time you decrease, you put a stitch marker in. So you're going to need about 12 or 13 stitch markers to make this top. Just little cheap stitch markers. They don't have to be fancy, but you do need enough to where you can mark each row that you decrease, because you want to match it over here with an increase. You see what I mean? So you start here and you decrease, start here, and you increase. and then go over the shoulder and crochet to the edge. So you'll make a piece like this, and right in the middle you're going to have a dip, and that dip is determined by the measurement you put on the back of your sweater. And you'll see in the pattern, I explain all that to you, and I have some pictures in here of how to mark your sweater. So it's not hard to do. It's just, I wanted to kind of give you an overview of how you make the sweater. Then you sew the shoulder seams together. You try it on, then you decide how much you want to leave open for the armhole, and then you sew the side seams. And you're pretty much done. Now you can add rows on to the sleeves. I did not add any rows on. This dark color is the same one that goes down the side of the sweater. So on the outside of your sleeves, you're going to have a dark edging already. And if that's the case, then you don't have to add any more rows if you don't want to. If you want to make a short sleeve, you can do that. Or as Crystal is modeling over here, she's modeling my Busy Bee top. And this is the one that we did with the longer sleeves on it. These were actually elbow length that I did. And that video, I will put the description down in the box. In the description box, I'll put a link to that video, and you can take a look at it. And I have the instructions on how to make this sleeve in the video. And I show you how, and I also put the directions in the description box, so you can take a look at that. And eventually, I'll probably put all these patterns together. And so if you want a particular pattern, you can just go order it, which is fine. But I wanted to show you this one because, first of all, it looks different from this. They're both made of the same yarn. They're made of yellow flash, lemon drop, and charcoal Premier Cotton Fair. They're both made with the same yarn. Now, this particular sweater that I have on, I wanted it to be crocheted close together so that I didn't have to wear a tank top under it. So I made it from half double crochet, which is in the pattern I made. I'm showing you exactly how I made it. In half double crochets, and I used primarily a number 7 crochet hook, which is a 4.5, and that's not got a letter on it. It's just kind of in between a G and an H. All right, so I used that one for the fabric. And then for the initial chain, I went up to an H, which is a 5.0. And that one, I chained up the top-down measurement for that initial measurement. All right, and then I used a G hook, which is a 4.0. I used a G hook to do the neck edging and the bottom edging as well, because this bottom edging tends to be stretchy. So I used a smaller hook on the bottom. And it's still plenty loose. It didn't draw up or anything. But if I'd used a bigger hook on this, it probably would have flared out. And I really didn't want it to do that. I wanted it to come straight down. So this is made like the Busy Bee. So look at us. Okay. This was made with I believe a J hook. And so see how you can see through it? This is a much looser fabric. It's a lighter fabric. This is a little bit heavier. It weighs a little bit more, but I don't have to wear a tank top under it. So that's the difference in this one and this one. And she's also wearing a white tank under this, so you can see through it, and you can see how open the weave is on this because it was done in double crochet. This one was done in half double crochet. There's quite a difference, and this is done in the exact same yarn. Actually, I used the yellow flash for this whole sweater, for everything on the sweater. And on this sweater, I used it for one of the stripes. One of the stripes was lemon drop, the other stripe was charcoal, and then I edged it in charcoal to kind of take those colors down a little bit because it is a tiny bit busy. But I was okay with that because I wanted to show you the difference in the two sweaters. When I brought them to you in a video, I wanted you to see that the sweaters are totally different. Now this one has a little bit of a slit on the side. I don't know if you can see that. There's a slit right there, and you can certainly do that on this one too. It's just how you sew the side seam. There's nothing magic about it. It's the side seam sewn 3 inches short will give you a really cute slit. And then if you go up there with your charcoal or whatever color you're using, your dark color, you go up into the slit with that, it accents that slit. It looks really cute, especially with pants that aren't exactly this color. Like I wouldn't wear this over black and expect anybody to see it accented, but over a pair of white pants it would look really cute. So I wanted to show you that. Also, this scoop is much, much lower than this one. Much, much lower. And I described that in one of my videos, and I think in the description box I even put how to do the scoop. So I'm going to gather all that together in a pattern someday. It won't be long. I should probably go ahead and take care of that. And that way you can follow along with the different types of patterns. If you prefer this kind of sweater and neck, then you can just get this sweater pattern. And this outline would be for the lower scoop, the wider band, the band along the bottom, the longer sleeves. This is totally different. It's just made in the same yarn as this one, but it looks totally different. So I wanted to bring that to you. Let's see if there's anything else I need to tell you in this particular video. I wanted to show you, I do have some photos in here where I show how to mark the back so that you can mirror the back with the front to make sure that you're making it the same width and that you know where the center is. Here's a picture of all the decreases and increases that I did and the stitch markers that I used. So, and I explain in here what the different colors mean. But this is not difficult. It is actually 10 pages long, and there's a lot of text in here, but I wanted to tell you exactly how I did it so that you could create it if you wanted to, or you can design it however you want. You can change the neck, you can change the sleeves, you can add on to them. You can make the bottom band really, really wide. I think that would be so cute. I really like that idea, but I made the sweater too long for that. So if I made it again, I might make the sweater a little bit shorter. Now, about the yarn that you select, this yarn is not for everybody. I mean, this is a summer sweater that I'm wearing. If you wanted to create more of a winter sweater or a sweater out of acrylic, you might use a yarn like this. And I bought this to make it, and then I decided on the cotton yarn instead. But I bought the ice cream yarn by Lion Brand. And those are the colors that are my favorites, the charcoal, the yellow, and white. And I bought this thinking that I was going to make this top with this yarn. And it would be really cute, and you wouldn't have to change colors. Now, I do describe in the pattern how to change out colors at the bottom of the sweater. And so you would crochet up with yellow, for example, from the bottom, crochet up, crochet down. Change over to the yellow flash, for example, crochet up, crochet back. So my stripes are 2 rows each. My stripes are 2 rows each. So if you were doing 2 stripes, say you were doing charcoal and yellow stripes, you would probably want to do 4 rows of each one. Yeah, it's just my preference. I would probably want to make them a little bit wider. They would be this wide instead of this wide. So it'd be yellow, charcoal, yellow, charcoal. You could do it either way. It is your sweater to design. I'm sure y'all will do a beautiful job, and I would love to see some of these on my Facebook group. So don't forget, when you make it and you wear it, take a picture of it and put it out there so we can all see it. Anyway, if you want to send me your email address, and my email address is down in the description box, but it's Jeanne@onthehookcrochet.com. Just send me an email and I will send you the PDF for this pattern. And you can print it out if you want. The front page is my picture. That's all I had. I didn't have just a shot of the sweater. I probably should have done that, but this way you can remember who gave it to you. So anyway, that's on the front. And there's several pages in here with colored pictures. So if you have a color printer, it makes it a whole lot easier to see the stripes. If you're really serious, you can send it to like Office Depot or Staples, and they will print it for you in color for a small fee, very small fee. And that way you'd have it in color and you could see the stripes and everything. Now, alternately, you could make this out of a mandala cake. Anything that is stripy, I'm not real excited about stripies this way, but because the sweater is made vertically, you could make it out of a mandala cake, and the stripes would be going this way. They'd be going up and down just like they are on my sweater, only they would be automatic. So you would not have to change yarn at the end of each row, at the end of every other row. So that would make it much simpler to make, and you might make one like that just for practice and to be sure you understand how to do this, and then if you want to make a striped one, you can certainly do that. I have some cotton fair in cocoa and black, and I was considering doing one like that, but I might not do that. I might do it in some other yarn. I really don't know. I might buy a mandala cake and try it. I don't know. See how it looks. If you happen to make it out of that, then let me know, and I'll be glad to put it on my Facebook group, or you can do that. You actually should do that on your own. Put it on the Facebook group. But I just wanted to bring this to you because it's a different kind of pattern. So now we've crocheted horizontally, and now we've crocheted vertically. And both sweaters will fit you very nicely. And this actually has some really good stretch across it because it's vertical stripe, so it's going to be more stretchy going this way. And so if you're so inclined, you might make it just to see how much stretch there is in it, because it really does stretch quite a bit. You could make it out of double crochet. You could make it out of a size 4 yarn. You could make it out of I wouldn't know about a bulky, but I would say a 4 yarn would look great. A 3 yarn would look great. These are size 2 weight. So if you used a larger yarn, obviously it would take you less time to make it. And I may do that next time too. I just don't know what I'm going to do. But I wanted to bring this to you and get it out the door and let y'all order it, and I will send it to you for free. So if you just send me your email address, I'll be glad to do that. I will be out of town this coming week, and I will take my computer with me, and I'll try to get those to you as fast as I can. If you don't get an answer, don't worry about it. I've got a special place where your emails come in, and I'll be glad to get that pattern to you as soon as I get back. But I think I can do it while I'm gone, so we'll see. But anyway, check with me next time to find out what's on the hook.